And also, before I say their names again, I want to be clear that you don't say they're terrible people in this. You just report how they act and what they did. The Wright brothers do not come off as good people in this story. Did you have to work really hard not to call them a jerk right in the book?
Writing the book and researching the book, I lost a lot of respect for the Wright brothers. How about that, if you'll accept that? They had reason to be suspicious of the rest of the world, I suppose. They had done something that's very incredible. They were very unwilling to acknowledge that what they had done actually was built on the shoulders of work that other people had done. And so they were deeply suspicious of the world, and they were convinced that given an opportunity, the world was going to steal their invention. So they were very protective of it. And as I said when we were talking a little earlier, they wouldn't do a public exhibition. They wouldn't say, look, actually, they were invited to come to the St. Louis Exposition and fly the Wright Flyer. There is a reasonable chance that they could have, by that time, or at least late 1904, made a 15-mile circuit and won the $200,000. I mean, that would have been pretty sweet. But no, they weren't going to do it because they didn't want to risk the even bigger money that they felt they would make by protecting their invention. So until they had their patents secured, it wasn't going to happen. And once they did have their patents secured, and this is where I think we get into problems, they start suing everybody. Anybody who even looks like they're infringing on their patents. So they're going to claim that they invented wing warping. And wing warping is just basically a device which, when you push your stick right or left, it changes the shape of the wings by pulling the wingtips up or down. And it warps the wings, basically, and that gives you control to raise or lower either your right or left side. They claim they invented this. It has been, I think, fairly well established by now that actually another California aviator, Professor J.J. Montgomery, in his glider experiments, had invented wing warping by studying the flights of gulls and building gliders of his own. Nevertheless, the Wrights went ahead. They were incredibly litigious, and they did try to shut down the 1910 California Airshow because men like Glenn Curtiss and Louis Paulhan, flying a Farman biplane from France, were, in their view, infringing upon their patents. And so they essentially wanted a piece of everybody who wanted to build a plane from the time that they had their patent secured in 1906.